Hey, all right, we're gonna review the Johnnie Walker Green Label. Today, 15-year-old. Green Label, 15-year-old. One of my favorite whiskeys in the whole world because it's such an amazing value. It's just a great value in my opinion for what it is. Presentation. So, presentation, remarkable presentation for the price. For the price, it's an excellent presentation. It comes in its own box. As I've said before, I toss the box away. I never keep the box for whiskeys I'm drinking. For whiskeys that are in my collection, I do keep the box and I take care of the box and I take care of the environment. If you want to see my entire collection, both unopened and opened, you can see them on my website, supremescotch.com. That's supremescotch.com. And you just click on collection up top and you have my whole collection listed with a number of bottles and with whether they're opened or unopened. So my entire collection is there. I'm still adding price data, but you could see everything I have there 100%. I always keep it up to date. It's a Google sheet. Check it out. This is one of my favorite scotches because for the price, it's so great. Let's talk about presentation. So the presentation, as I said, I tossed the box. It was just an unremarkable box for this. But the main presentation is the bottle. So the bottle is beautiful. For this price, the bottle is quite beautiful. I mean, the bottom is thick. My first video ever on this channel, so just 2 videos ago, was a Glenfiddich 21-year-old Grand Reserva. So aged at 21-year Glenfiddich, and the bottle was the typical Glenfiddich triangular bottle, but it was kind of expanded. And that base was pretty much as thick as this base is here. And that's a $200 bottle, a 21-year-old from their Grand Series, not even from their core range. This bottle is in the middle of Johnnie Walker's core range. You can get it for $50, and it's as thick as that Glenfiddich 21 Grand Reserva. As thick as that one. That's nuts. This is an excellent presentation. This looks great on the bar, on the table, or as a gift. If you could find this for $50 or less, the gift, and you give it as a gift, people will think you spent $100 if they don't know anything about Scotch. This is an excellent presentation for the price. Johnnie Walker knocked it out of the park with the presentation on this. Even the cork looks like it's real wood, and it looks like it's real wood painted with gold, and it's a nice thick cork. Beautiful cork. Just a beautiful presentation. And again, the bottom is as thick as a 21-year-old Glenfiddich from the Grand Series, not even from their core range. This is in the middle of the core range. Johnnie Walker has scale and capability. I don't know how they do it, but this is just an excellent bottle. Now, let's move on to appearance. So, we have our glass. 100% crystal. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Now, so the appearance is beautiful. I don't know if you could see it, but there's a beautiful tone. I think they must add caramel here. They must add caramel. So that's the appearance. And let's see what this stuff is made of. It's made of a blend. Now this is a blended whiskey. Johnnie Walker is blended. So it's made of these whiskeys: Talisker, Linkwood, Cragmore, and Colilla. So 4 pretty solid ones, and Talisker and Colilla are excellent ones. Talisker is a Class A distillery. Talisker is from the Isle of Skye. Go to supremescotch.com to learn more about that. We have a ton of info on Talisker and the Isle of Skye. Isle of Skye is considered a sub-region of the Highland region. It's not really considered its own region, but some Isle of Skye or Talisker enthusiasts would consider it its own region. So it is a Class A distillery in the same class as Ardbeg and Macallan and Glenfiddich and Bowmore. So you have some of that stuff in here. Again, the appearance is quite gorgeous. Just look at how gorgeous it looks. I shouldn't even show in the glass. I should show you here. I think it's colored, and of course the bottle says aged 15 years, naturally intense with a distinct smokiness and a big malty heart. And then there's awards. It's won quite a few awards. Very hard to read, actually. The San Francisco World Spirits 2017 double gold. The Spirits Business Gold 2016. It's won a ton of awards. Distilled, blended, and bottled in Scotland, a rich and vibrant blend of only single malt Scotch whiskey, including, like I said, Talisker, Linkwood, Cragmore, and Colilla, aged 15 years. You have a whiskey that's aged 15 years for $50. That's quite not bad. A whiskey of this caliber, something that has Talisker in it, something with this kind of appearance. This was eliminated at one point. This was not a very popular one, but there was a diehard group that loved this one. So they weren't popular, but they were loud and vocal. So when this one was eliminated, because there wasn't that many people buying it, but the people that loved it, they made a ruckus about it, and they didn't buy anything else. Kind of, Johnnie Walker assumed that, they'll either jump to something else. They'll jump up one or down one, to either to the black label or the gold label. They'll jump down one, either to the black or the double black, or up one to the gold label. No, people didn't do that because this has its own distinct flavor. This is a very unique one, and so they brought it back some years later. I think it's been back for like 8 years now, or something like that. It's not exactly like the one that it was before, but it's still excellent. People bag on it and say, it's not like exactly like that one. It's okay. It's still an excellent one. It's an excellent blend. Johnnie Walker knows how to do their thing with these blends, and for $50, you can't go wrong with this, in my opinion. So let's move on to the nose. Oh my goodness. Grass, a field, a hike in a lush area with pear, citrus, apple, a tiny bit of peat smoke. I know this one very well. This is one of my main. I enjoy this one a lot. Peat smoke, and then a tiny bit of honey, and like dry, like some kind of like tropical molasses. A hint of it in the back. A bit again. That pear, that like tart pear, and very citrusy apple. Like those tiny little apple-looking fruits. Those tiny things that look like apples, even maybe baby apples, mini apples. A bit of honey, a little bit of peat, a little bit of licorice. Wow, quite a bit of licorice. Interesting. And this is 43% ABV. And just look at that presentation on that. So if you can get it for under $50. So let this air out a little bit more. This is a new bottle. I like to let it air out. Now, if I never had it, I would both like to try it right out of the bottle and after it aired out to compare and contrast. But I've had this so much right out of the bottle, not right out of the bottle. So I'm going to let it air out. It gets a little bit better by airing it out. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the price. So again, like I've said, depending on where you get it. Are you buying it 2 days before Christmas in Manhattan? Or are you buying it in some Midwestern town where people are smart and they're not going to overpay for Scotch? If you're buying it there, you can get it for under $50. If you're buying it in the Manhattan scenario, it could be $200. That's why on SupremeScotch.com our ranges are absurd. We try to be reasonable, but they're absurd. I try to be reasonable, but they're crazy. I know, because I've seen such a diversity in prices. So it depends where you are. Are you in Hong Kong buying this in downtown a day before one of their big holidays? Depends, right? So if you can get this for under $50, I say it's a top-notch whiskey. It's a premium choice. You're getting an amazing appearance, an amazing color, and we'll forgive them for coloring it. I'm sure they colored it. You're getting an amazing color, just a stunning appearance. An appearance that this bottle rivals the Glenfiddich. This bottle rivals the Glenfiddich 21 Grand Reserva bottle for my first review. No joke. The bottom is almost as thick. The sides are not quite as thick. So, and just look at how gorgeous that color is. This is a good appearance. This is a showy whiskey for the price. If you can get it for 50 or under, you can't go wrong with this. Especially if you like a fresh, peaty, refreshing, smoky whiskey. This is that. Now, let's start the tasting process, okay? There's Talisker in here. It's at least 15 years old, we know that. But it could be older. I think there could be things here that are older than 15, possibly. So every drop of Talisker here must be 15 years old. So that's pretty good. I don't know how much of it is there, but I don't think a lot. This is an excellent whiskey. It's an excellent whiskey. You get peatiness, you get smokiness, you get vibrancy though. It's still young a little bit. You get a little of that oakiness. You get all the good stuff. Nothing too profound, nothing too complex. It's a very drinkable and approachable blend, especially if you like a bit of a smoky, vibrant, a little bit of a peaty, but a little bit more of a robust whiskey. This is that. This is an excellent whiskey in my opinion, as long as you understand what it can give you and what it's not going to give you. If you're paying $100, $200, that's not what this is about. You have to get this at a good price. That's the point. For $100 or $200, you can get something truly remarkable. So if you're in a pinch and you need something, yeah, but there's other things you could get if you're in a pinch, if you're in that Manhattan scenario. This is not something that, you know, you need to like drive out far to get. This should be available in most stores, and it's something that's quite liquid and sold often, so the pricing should be appropriate. So you should be able to get this at a good price. If you have to get it for too much, wait until you can get it for a better price, in my opinion, because you should pretty easily be able to get it for a good price in the US at least. So if you're able to get this for a good price, I think this is a remarkable whiskey. It's aged 15 years and it's cheaper than a lot of most other 10, 12, and 15-year-olds that are of top-notch caliber. So this is probably not of that caliber. It's one notch below top notch, but it is a remarkable and excellent dram. And for under $50, it's cheaper than pretty much most of its competitors, in my opinion. You get the Class A Talisker in there, and the appearance is just excellent as well. It's a very well-rounded whiskey. It's a very well-rounded whiskey, and it can serve a lot of functions, whether it be gifting or whether it be just as a weekly or daily, weekly or monthly drinker on your bar. An excellent Scotch.